But let's see how it goes. Let's see. Maybe you. Because it's open. I'm in charge of publicity. But let's see. I'll come. Ulan.
Good afternoon, viewers. Wherever you're watching us from, you're watching us live on TV3 Ghana, not only mainstream but also across social media. More importantly, it is the maiden edition of the Volta Economic Forum, and I dare say that we can again christen it the 2025 Volta Economic Forum. It is a forum that has brought everybody else together. That is, as far as we're related, very much important to the economy, but critically also on what could be harnessed on the voltaic basin, but also the Volta corridor when it comes to the economy in relation to how the 24-hour economy is implemented. I have an array of dignitaries right here. Many of them I know personally, but also cut across various sectors, subsectors of the economy as well. Not only doing their own thing in the private sector, but also those in charge of policy, its implementation, the formulation as well in the private sector. And then also members of the diplomatic corps, but also representing various countries, either as key members of their government representatives, but more so the investor community, because they provide with the foreign direct investment. So I see a number of them as well. But more critically, what we have to do by way of the opening is to invite Kennedy Kobla-Oklu to help us with an opening prayer to kickstart the program. Can I have Kennedy Kobla-Oklu come here and help us with the opening prayer? Please give him a round of applause for me.
Thank you. May we bow our heads. Lord, thank you for the gift of this day. We thank you for this all-important event. Oh Lord Jesus, we thank you once again for the lives of those who have been planning, organizing, and executing this program. We thank you for your visitation that has always preserved this nation and this region. We thank you for granting life and traveling mercies to each and every one of us seated here. Oh Lord, we pray in the name of Jesus that you grant us your kind guidance, leadership, and wisdom as we deliberate on the growth and the development of this region and this nation at large. In the name of Jesus, our Lord and Savior, we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Pastor Kennedy. Are you a pastor? You're not? Great. Please give me a round of applause for me. Now, we have to introduce our chair for this auspicious event, and so I'll call on Ivy Setoji to help me do the introduction for the chair for this event. And Ivy, if you're here, can I just quickly see you as possible? But as part of the programming for today, we're going to have key notable speakers, and when it comes to the Volta region, what the position should be on paper, and then what the whole idea is. Dr. Eric Plima Petogbo of the National Development Planning Commission will be on this stage to give us a word on what really the theme is, why they decided to make that choice of the theme. And then we're going to have the guest speaker for today's event, the Chief of Staff, Julius Debra, also helping us. Please, Ivy Setoji, I need you here. Thank you.
Miakata Miawezo. Welcome to this very important program. It is an honor and a privilege to introduce the chairman for the Volta Economic Forum, a distinguished traditional leader, an accomplished professional, and a passionate advocate for good governance and community development. Togbiwo Mamao, our political leaders, businessmen and women, Togbe Nyaho Tameklo, the Miafiaga of Anglo, paramount chief of the Komeshime traditional area, and Dufia of Wuti. Togbe Nyaho Tameklo brings to this forum a wealth of leadership experience and international exposure. He holds an MBA, a major sociology, and diploma in education. Qualifications that reflect his strong grounding in administration, social development, and human relations. Before returning home to serve his people, Togbe had an illustrious career in Canada, where he served as a police commissioner and was a founding member and former vice chair of Coalition for Canadian Police Reform. He is expert in local governments administration spans nearly 3 decades, serving as both a chief administrative officer and a principal municipal advisor. A man of global experience, Togbe has lived and worked across Canada, the United States, Europe, and several African countries, including Zimbabwe, Zambia, Botswana, Togo, Kenya, and Ghana, gaining deep insights into governance, leadership, and development across diverse cultures. Beyond his professional accomplishments, Togbe is passionate about mentorship, public speaking, and youth development. He's also an avid lover of soccer, reading, Scrabble, and master games. Distinguished guests, Togbe Mamao, ladies and gentlemen, with such a rich blend of tradition, talent, and international experience, please join me in warmly welcoming the chairman for Volta Economic Forum, Togbe Nyaho Tameklo, a visionary leader dedicated to service, discipline, and advancement of our region and nation. Togbe Tameklo, if you are here, please, you are the chairman for this occasion. Please, do we have Togbe Tameklo here? Togbe Tameklo Dufia of Buti, I'm sure he's on his way here. So please, can we please give it up to him as he enters to chair this very important program. Okay, so he's on his way coming. Right, so let me hand over to Roland. Thank you very much, Roland.
Thank you very much. Ivy Seto, you give a round of applause for me. I do understand that Togbe will have a representative, and so in due course, we're going to have that representative well announced to you. Again, representing Togbe Tameklo the Dufia of Uti, who again is under his auspices, having somebody represent him. Very soon, we will be introducing our keynote speakers, key important guests that we have here from all facets of our society, the investor community, as well as the public and private sectors. But in the meantime, a man who has worked through all levels of the political ladder, getting nominated as a regional minister. And so we have him as the man to give us the welcoming as well as the opening remarks or address today. The Volta Regional Minister, James Gunu. Please give him a round of applause. I love his green. I'm wearing green as well. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, our brother Roland. Honorable Julius Deborah, Chief of Staff of the Republic of Ghana, being represented here by his able Deputy Chief of Staff in charge of administration, Nana Oye Bampo. Food and Agriculture, Honorable Eric Opoku, distinguished members of Parliament, Togbio Mamao, the Chief Executive Officer and the team from the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, leadership of the 24-hour Economic Secretariat, development partners, members of the Diplomatic Corps, captains of industry, representatives of the private sector, municipal and district chief executives, members of the media, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is my distinct honor, on behalf of the Volta Regional Coordinating Council, if you permit me, with the greatest respect, Togbe Nyaho Tamaklo, the chair for this August occasion, has just entered with his lieutenant, Togbe Okpla Mamao Mereku Miawezo, Mienyi Banami. Akpe, Miawe Zon. So on behalf of the Volta Regional Coordinating Council and the good people of our region, to warmly welcome you to the Volta Economic Forum 2025 here at Reddington Beach Resort in Huti. This gathering, under the theme, Harnessing the Volta Corridor Potential for the 24-hour economic takeoff, signifies more than an annual engagement. It marks the dawn of a new chapter in our region's economic transformation. The Volta Corridor stands as one of Ghana's most strategically endowed development zones, an intersection of trade, energy, agriculture, tourism, and innovation. From the Aflao border and Keta Lagoon basins through Ho and Pando to Oti interface, our geography connects markets, our people produce value, and our resources promise competitiveness. Under the forward-looking leadership of His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, and with a vision articulated through the 24-hour economic policy, the Volta region is repositioning itself as a strategic economic corridor. The 24-hour economic agenda challenges us to expand productivity, ensure energy reliability, support local infrastructure development, manufacturing, and generate sustainable jobs, particularly for our youth and women. This forum provides an important platform for strategic collaboration among government, investors, traditional authorities, and development partners. It seeks to convert our regional advantages into bankable opportunities and to promote Volta as a region that is open, stable, and ready for business. Our districts have profiled over 50 investment-ready projects across sectors, including agro-processing, aquaculture, ecotourism, logistics, ICT, and renewable energy. Together with the Ghana Investment Promotion Center and the 24-hour Economic Secretariat, the Regional Coordinating Council is ensuring that every project presented here is verifiable, locally supported, commercially viable, and sustainable. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this is how we build a corridor of productivity where investors can operate day and night, where our youth are trained and employed, and where communities share in the benefit of growth. Today, I invite our partners and investors gathered here to see the Volta region not just as a location, but as a long-term growth destination. Let us form partnerships that are mutually beneficial and socially responsible. Let us sign memoranda, establish pilot projects, and set in motion the first wave of investment that will define the 24-hour economy in most action. The Volta Regional Coordinating Council stand ready with our one-stop investor facility desk and district-level investment teams to walk every investor through the process from concept to commissioning. Together, we will ensure that commitment made here translate into jobs, infrastructure, and prosperity for our people. Distinguished guests, the Volta region is poised to lead. Our people are ready. Our resources are in abundance. And our leadership is united in purpose. Let us therefore seize this moment to make the Volta Economic Corridor the new frontier of Ghana's inclusive industrialization and sustainable development. On this note, I warmly welcome you once again to the Volta Economic Corridor Economic Forum 2025. May our deliberation be insightful, our partnership enduring, and our outcomes transformative. Thank you, Akpenami. God bless Volta region, and God bless our homeland, Ghana. Miawezo, miaweva dog.
Please, a round of applause once again for James Kunu, the regional minister, Volta region, leading the charge and making insightful notes on what his expectations are, and all of us what we should do by way of the presentation of the papers. All right, so very soon we'll also be telling you, myself as well as my co-moderators, Ambassador Ben Duche Malo will be here alongside me, Ama Ablode, and of course Selom Madunu. We'll be introducing some of our key guests this afternoon. The program is expected to be short, but also spanning 1 or 2 hours, if not 3. Thank you. Thank you. Please give myself a round of applause. Promises to be short. All right. Now, it is important that as all of us are gathered here, we all know what the potential of the region should be. I was having a conversation the last time with a friend who, of course, is also working in various sectors of policy implementation, interfaces with investors, and he said what was in the Volta region. Of course, I know that agriculture is big, tourism is big, but I gave him an example, particularly the first time I visited Singapore, and I saw that they didn't have some of the key mineral resources that we always said we had, but they had some of the best brains, and they utilized them. So I said, well, we have some of the best human resource pool that you can ever have in Ghana. And that is very critical for you to be able to unearth not only talent, but also potential for the economy. And that alone, even though it's transient, is not seen, is also something that is very much accountable. All right. But more importantly, for all the talk here today, that we need to take something with us. And we don't need to disappoint our investors and all these array of great people that we have assembled here. It is very important for all of us. And all of us will have to promise to do good by ourselves. We're going to have a short interlude, and that is going to be the Anglo Afiadenigma cultural troupe giving us an interlude. But even if they're not ready, we're going to have the Volta position paper going to be presented by Dr. Elik Plim Apetokbo. But before he does that, again, let me just introduce to you some key personalities I already see here. I see the Petroleum Commission Chief Executive, please, Lawyer MFA Hardcastle. A round of applause. A round of applause. And also, I see LC Apawo, a legal practitioner, as well as working with the presidency as well. Thank you. Dr. Macaulay is here, popularly known to all of us as McDan Group of Companies. I also see Nana Oye Bampo Ado. Thank you. Give her a round of applause for me. I see the Minister for Food and Agriculture, Dr. Eric Opoku. Please give him a round of applause for me. I love your white. He's in a good mood. And we all have to be in a good mood as well. And we thank our spacious chairperson, the indefatigable traditional ruler, for making time to join us as well. Dr. Elikplim Apetogbo, if you're ready, please. Dr. Elikplim Apetogbo is also one of the key individuals putting together this Volta Economic Forum 2025. He plays other roles within various subsectors of the economy, but currently is with the National Development Planning Commission. He's the son of the soil. He's also a good friend and my church member. So when things are hard for him, he'll call me at 12 a.m. Let's pray together. I tell him it's not a thing that prayer does. But anyway, Dr. Elikplim Apetogbo.
Thank you very much, Mr. Roland. Your Excellency, the Chief of Staff, Your Excellency, the Deputy Chief of Staff in charge of administration, the Honorable Volta Regional Minister, members of the Regional Coordinating Council, His Excellency, the Chinese Ambassador to Ghana, His Excellency, the Norwegian Ambassador to Ghana, His Royal Highness, Togbi Nyaho Tamaklo, distinguished members of Parliament, and all our distinguished invited guests present here, good afternoon. It is a great honor this afternoon to stand before you at this maiden Volta Economic Forum. This forum is more than a gathering. It is a special meeting to call investors, innovators, and nation builders to anchor the 24-hour economy in this corridor of possibilities. Why Volta and why now? The Volta corridor is uniquely positioned to power Ghana's 24-hour economy vision. It combines three important things. The first one is strategic trade positioning, as my regional minister said. With access to the Eastern Corridor Road, the Lake Volta transport, the Aplau border post, this region offers round-the-clock trade and logistic potential for domestic and ECOWAS markets. Strong local resource base as the second opportunity, from the cocoa and cassava belts to fisheries, salt mining, tourism, light manufacturing. Volta's economic footprint is broad and deep. Policy alignment. The 24-hour economy agenda, GIPC incentives, Ministry of Food and Agriculture value chain interventions, and that of the VRCC coordination provide a clear enabling environment for any investor that is interested in Volta. This meeting is not just about identifying opportunities. We have been identifying opportunities for many years now. We want to ignite economic engines that run beyond daylight, creating jobs, powering industries, and connecting value chains from farm gates to factory and to the export market. A brief storyline on a 24-hour economy. The Volta corridor offers strategic pipelines structured around 5 economic pillars that can sustain the government's 24-hour economy agenda. Pillar A, agro-processing and food systems. When you come to the Adaklu district, the Central Tonu, Ho West, Akachi North, Akachi South, and Ketu North offer cassava, maize, groundnut, and poultry clusters that can support shift-based processing, warehousing, and logistics. And a typical project size in these districts is about 12 to 35 million Ghana cedis. The advantage of this location is that they are close to Accra and Tema, and there are existing ready smallholder base and regional market demands, as well as the border trade. Pillar B, that is the blue economy that has to do with aquaculture, the cold chain, and the coastal value addition. You come to Anglogan, where we are seated now, Keta, Ketu South, and the lakeside districts like Pando present salt processing opportunities, cold chain hubs, modern fish smoking, and aquaculture. And here, an investment of 15 to 38 million cedis is enough for any investment. For the 24-hour value, continuous processing and distribution, lower post-harvest loss, and export potential. Pillar C or 3, that is the tourism and cultural economy. When you go to Afajato South, Huawei, Pando, and the surrounding enclaves offer a powerful eco-cultural tourism circuit. Mountains, lakes, waterfalls, and heritage sites. And here to a ticket size could be 22 to 40 million investment. The 24-hour value here is night tourism economy, hospitality expansion, event-driven demand. And pillar D, or the fourth one, that is light manufacturing, ICT, or business processing, outsourcing, and urban services. That is, you are looking at the whole municipality, that is the administrative hub of the region. And it's ripe for industrial parks, the ICT hubs, and hospitality clusters. And here too, about 40 to 65 million Ghana cedis is enough for ticket size for any investment of choice. And for the 24-hour value, is going to create jobs across the multiple shifts, export services, and regional logistics. And the last pillar, that is logistics, warehousing, and border trade. Ketu South and North Tongue anchor the corridor's logistics backbone, and with potential for bonded warehouses, dry ports, and retail distribution centers. Here we are looking at a ticket size of 25 to 95 million investment. For the 24-hour value for any investor, there is trade facilitation, increased customs revenue, efficient cargo handling. Let me present on the corridor snapshots, the real numbers and real potentials. Again in Adaklu, agro-processing and poultry, cassava outputs is about 40,000 metric tons per year. Maize production is about 20,000 metric tons per year, with a total investment of about 12 to 20 million Ghana cedis. In Afajato South, cocoa and ecotourism. Cocoa has about 9,000 metric tons per year and has an investment of about 22 to 30 million. When you come to Anglogan district, that is salt and fisheries. Salt production is about 200,000 metric tons and requires investments of about 25 to 38 million. In Ho, the regional capital, ICT, or business process outsourcing, manufacturing, over 200 SMEs with investments about 40 to 65 million. Ketu South, logistics and trade, border trade volumes is about 500 million per year. A total investment of about 60 to 95 million. You come to the Tongue Belt, we have rice and aquaculture opportunities. Rice production per year is about 40,000 metric tons, and investment is about 25 to 48 million. These are not conceptual wish lists. They are the investment-ready profiles with baseline data, district and traditional authority support, and a clear off-take potential. Partnership that multiply impact. The Volta Corridor Investment Drive is to anchor in collaboration with the AGI, Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, GEPA, GTA, and other development partners, financial institutions, and the diaspora. Sector-based working groups will help convert these B2B conversations into term sheets and MOUs. Linkages with OT region strengthen the corridor logic. Production in OT, processing and logistics in Volta, distribution across Ghana and the ECOWAS sub-region. The Volta Corridor Investment Pledge. We are expecting our investors in this meeting this afternoon that by the time we are returning here, they will be disclosing their investment interests in the various districts or municipal assemblies that I've mentioned, or the investment opportunities that I have mentioned. The Volta Corridor offers visibility, mapped investment sites, data, and credible sponsors. Fast-track processes and aligned leadership. You will testify the visibility of our regional minister and his team. And if we can give you value, that is investable project with tangible returns. And today, I invite all our investors, distinguished guests, to co-create with Volta. That is, sit with our MMDAs, traditional authorities, and entrepreneurs to shape the project landscape that fits your investment strategy. Again, I invite you to commit. That is, take up equity position, joint ventures, or long-term offtake agreements. Sign letters of intent, MOUs, before you leave this forum today. We are ready to support early movers with fast-track facilitations, investment intelligence, and structured aftercare. Let this forum mark the start of the corridor-wide investment commitment that will transform opportunities into enterprise, and enterprise into the national growth. Togwe Chairman, the Volta Corridor is just open for business. It is ready to power Ghana's 24-hour economy takeoff. Let us sign, build, and grow together. Akpanami, God bless you.
Thank you, Dr. Aleklim Apetokbo. Please give me a round of applause. A young man working very hard when it comes to the energy sector, long before occupying the current position with the NDPC, was always talking tough, representing IPPs, bulk power distributors, as well as generators. And from where I sat, issuing subtle threats. But today is calling for investment, so no problem. Doctor, we are with you. We are with you. Dr. Aleklim Apetokbo, great guy, great guy. Once again, he's my church member. So that's a good thing. When times are hard, he will wake me up. Midnight, let's pray. But it's not a problem. But in the meantime, we have to also acknowledge some key individuals who are here. We have a representative for Dr. Johnson Isiama, the the Bank of Ghana governor. Do I have that representative in the house? Representing the Bank of Ghana governor. You are representing him. So you have a speech. You join us. In his place, I'll put Dr. Eric Opoku, minister. He's not here. Your man is not here, right? Okay, so you fill in the slot for him quickly as possible. And then Dr. He's joining online. Okay. Nonetheless. And then after that, we'll have Dr. Daniel Macaulay. And then also Dr. John Michael Vistad. Dr. John Michael Vistad, are you here with us? Thank you. Please give me a round of applause representing the IFC. Thank you as well. Have a seat. And then also Wang Zhenshao. Is Wang Zhenshao here? Mr. Zhang? Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Zhang. Thank you. Please give me a round of applause for me. Do we have a representative of the 24-hour economy? Secretariat? Thank you, Doc. Thank you as well. And then we're supposed to have a panel discussion, but we've called it off. A lot of people are giving me pressure that they want to make this very short. So I said we can call it off. So we're calling that one off so that all of us can quickly go. But a man I respect so much started off as a youth leader in the NDC in the 90s, had worked throughout the country, and then rose to become a member of parliament, Dade Kotopong. Before then was the youth leader of Greater Accra as well for the NDC, and then became the Dade Kotopong member of parliament, and subsequently the chief executive for the National Health Insurance Authority, currently the chief executive for the Exim Bank, Sylvester Mensah. Mr. Sylvester Mensah, please give me a round of applause. Mr. Sylvester Mensah will be telling us, as a lead sponsor, what the Ghana Exim Bank thinks could be the potentials when it comes to the economy for the Volta region. Good to see you once again, sir.
Thank you very much, my very good friend. Mr. Chairman, Togbi Nyakotamaklo, the Chief of Staff, the Regional Minister, the Minister for Agric, Honorable Ministers of State here present, Honorable Members of Parliament, Togbio, Mamao, colleague, chief executives, the ambassador, the Chinese ambassador who is currently present here, rep of the IFC, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I stand on existing protocols. Everybody here is important, and I want to acknowledge everybody here present. I would want to first thank the organizers of this forum for the initiative, for the foresight, and to assure them that the very presence of all we see here is a clear testimony that this program and this meeting is long overdue. We, from this land, are the only people who can change the destiny of this environment. The Volta region is one of the 16 administrative regions in Ghana, and it lies on the eastern side of Ghana, bordering the Republic of Togo to the east, the Atlantic Ocean to the south, the Volta River Basin to the west. The population of the region is estimated to be around 1.8 million by the close of 2025, and 2.1 million projected by 2030. The Ewe people constitute 68.5% of the total population of the region, followed by the Guan and Akan, who constitute 9.2% and 8.5% of the population of the region, respectively. The Volta region is known for its rich tourism potential, strong agricultural base, and growing focus on renewable energy. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this area attracts visitors with natural attractions such as the waterfalls, mountains, and cultural heritage sites. Agriculture remains a major livelihood, with communities producing crops, as has been said earlier, like rice, maize, vegetables, and many more. In recent years, the region has become important for renewable energy projects. The emerging infrastructural projects like the Volta Economic Corridor have positioned the region as one of Ghana's most promising growth frontiers. However, realizing the full potential of the region will require deliberate policy interventions, targeted investments, and effective partnerships between public and private sectors to drive sustainable and inclusive growth. In this effort, the Ghana Export-Import Bank stands ready to support by financing value-added enterprises and promoting projects that can convert the region's natural advantages into strong business opportunities that can compete internationally and drive export growth. Volta's economy is naturally diverse. The region's fertile lands, abundant water bodies, and strategic location within the ECOWAS corridor makes it well positioned for agro-industrial growth and cross-border trade. Agriculture remains the backbone of the local economy, yet its transformation into an integrated value chain through processing, packaging, and export, next frontier of opportunity. Recent infrastructural projects, including road rehabilitation, bridge construction, and energy transmission improvements, are beginning to connect rural production zones with emerging markets. These developments lay the foundation for industrial parks, logistics centers, and renewable energy installation capable of attracting long-term investors. With vast arable lands and access to the Volta Lake, the region is ideal for commercial farming, aquaculture, and agro-processing. The region is the second leading producer of rice in Ghana. In 2020, the region covered almost 30% of rice planted areas in the country, and cumulatively, the region produced in excess of 564 metric tons of rice. The Volta region is also a major hub for maize, cassava, and vegetable cultivation in Ghana. Maize is widely grown across the region and serves as a key staple for households, as well as an input for the poultry and livestock feed industry. Cassava is another dominant crop cultivated in the region, and it thrives in the region's well-drained soils and serves as raw material for gari, tapioca, cassava dough, and starch, among others. Vegetables, soya beans are grown in all the districts in the region. Despite being the second producer of rice in Ghana, the region's rice industry continues to face structural challenges that limit productivity and competitiveness. The availability of irrigable land remains inadequate, which makes farmers overly dependent on rainfall and exposes production to climate variability. Studies have revealed that rice farmers who use irrigational facilities can produce rice at a better cost compared to farmers who rely solely on rainfall. The data available shows that close to 1/3 of the Volta irrigation project in Ketu North Municipality has been submerged underwater since 2006, and farmers in the area lose millions of cedis yearly. In addition, the region lacks storage facilities and mechanical dryers, resulting in high post-harvest losses and declining grain quality. Modern milling capacity is also limited. Togbio, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, beyond its agricultural wealth, the Volta region is a major tourism hub in Ghana. It features the Vli waterfalls, which is the highest waterfall in Ghana and among the tallest in West Africa. It also boasts Mount Afajatu, the highest mountain in the country, which provides panoramic views and a rewarding hiking experience. In the region, you would find the Tafi Atome Monkey Sanctuary, a community-based wildlife sanctuary with monkeys roaming freely in the forest contiguous to the village. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Volta's abundant sunlight, wind corridors, and hydro resources make it a prime zone for renewable energy development. Small hydro and solar projects can not only power communities, but also serve as a catalyst for industrial activity. Bordering Togo and lying across the ECOWAS highway, Volta has the geographic advantage to become Ghana's eastern corridor and logistics hub. Investments in inland ports, industrial estates, and cross-border infrastructure will unlock regional commerce and export diversification. People are the center of every successful development plan. Without skilled and motivated workers, all other investments in agriculture, industry, or tourism will not achieve their full potential. The Volta region has a strong base in education, with institutions such as the Ho Technical University, the EPA University College, the University of Health and Allied Sciences, and a host of others. Through its diverse undergraduate and postgraduate programs in medicine, nursing, pharmacy, public health, and allied sciences, UAS trains and graduates more than 2,000 students annually, significantly strengthening the national pool of qualified health professionals. The university also has become a hub for applied health research, supporting development of evidence-based interventions and policies that improve healthcare delivery across Ghana. The impact of the educational institutions are enormous. Employment creation, local economic multiplier, infrastructural development, health systems strengthening, and a host of others. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in today's world, no region can grow fast without technology and innovation. Digital tools help farmers, traders, and small businesses work smarter and reach customers. The Volta region can build a strong digital and innovation ecosystem by supporting ICT hubs, encouraging tech startups, and improving internet access in rural communities. Promoting digital literacy, mobile money use, and e-commerce platforms would help local business sell their products more widely. Mr. Chairman, while the region has faced setbacks, such as the closure of certain enterprises and reduced transport connectivity, these moments reveal a deeper need for structural reform and resilient planning. The temporary suspension of airline services, Africa World Airlines, and closure of retail outlets like KFC underscore the urgency to create a more diversified, self-sustaining economic base. Strengthening local industries, improving infrastructure, and building human capital will ensure that the region remains open, competitive, and attractive to investors. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Ghana Exim Bank, established in 2016 under the leadership of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, was created precisely to support the government of Ghana to build a resilient and export-led economy. The bank's mission is to facilitate Ghana's economic transformation through promotion of international trade, strategic investments abroad by Ghanaian enterprises, and by addressing critical market failures that limit the country's global competitiveness. To unlock the full potential of Volta region, it is imperative that the Exim Bank develop innovative financial products tailored to the needs of the region. The Exim Bank's mandate is to accelerate value addition, promote export competitiveness, and strengthen local manufacturing, which is directly aligned with Volta's needs. The bank is uniquely positioned to provide patient capital, support feasibility and technical studies, facilitate public-private partnerships, champion export-oriented enterprises, support tourism and hospitality sector, support business sustainability through digitalization. Because of what we have heard previously and the way some words have been overused, it becomes difficult reusing those same words. I wish there was another word for some of these words. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Volta region's economic potential is vast, but this transformation requires vision, coordination, and capital. With focused investment in agriculture, renewable energy, tourism, and logistics, supported by all present in here, including Exim Bank, the region can evolve into a dynamic growth pool for the national economy. A deliberate partnership-driven approach will not only unlock local prosperity, but also contribute meaningfully to Ghana's broader goal of achieving inclusive, export-led industrialization. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we can go on and on and on about the Volta region. But suffice it to say that it takes the political will. And when we talk of political will, we are talking about our individual wills as we sit right in here and what we can do from our individual agencies and how we can draw synergy in our bid to ensure that the Volta region rises from the ashes. We don't have enough time, and the time is now. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Please, a round of applause once again. Sylvester Mensah is the Chief Executive for the Ghana Exim Bank. Again, expanding on what the potential is, but the actions that need to be taken by not only indigenes, but those who have some important affiliation with the region, but play key roles to make these manifest. Very important as well. We have a representative of the Chief of Staff, Julius Deborah, right here, and the Deputy Chief of Staff, Nana Oye Bampoado, is here in his stead. Our special guest of honor's message.
Thank you very much, Roland. Good afternoon to you all. Togbe Chairman Togbe Nyaho Tamaklo, the Dufia of the Wuti traditional area. Togbe o Mama o, our Honorable Minister for Food and Agriculture, Honorable Eric Opoku, our Honorable Regional Minister, Honorable James Gunu, Honorable Members of Parliament, Your Excellencies, Ambassadors, and members of the Diplomatic Corps, our districts and municipal chief executives, CEOs of government institutions, distinguished speakers and guests, representatives from the Regional Coordinating Council and the Volta Corridor Investment Center, WAZOR. The Volta region is a land of natural wealth and power. It is a land that has fertile plains, rolling mountains, and boundless waters. It is a region where culture and commerce are in abundance. At its heart lies the Volta Lake, the largest man-made lake in the world. This lake touches the lives of millions across Ghana through electricity, irrigation, and a transportation network. This lake is in the Volta region. These huge potentials cannot go unutilized. And under the 24-hour economy and the accelerated export development projects, that is 24-hour plus, this region occupies a central part of the economic reset agenda of His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama. In July 2025, a blueprint was drawn up for the economic transformation of the Volta region through the Volta Economic Corridor. This development plan is to transform the Volta River Basin into a logistics and production backbone. It will anchor economic parks, industrial hubs, and inland water transport systems to enable a better north-south integration. The corridor enhances rural-urban connectivity and positions Ghana as a regional production and trade hub. The establishment of the Volta Corridor Center, the Volta Economic Embassy, and the Keta Port project have created a good takeoff in terms of harnessing these economic fortunes. These facilities have also helped in the coordination and aggressive marketing of the potentials of the economic corridor and by extension, the Volta region. And thanks to our Honorable Regional Minister for leading in all of this. Ladies and gentlemen, we have witnessed over the past few months the 24-hour economy plus. This is attracting regional and global attention. For instance, at the Africa-Singapore Business Forum in August 2025, the 24-hour economy plus took center stage with President John Dramani Mahama demonstrating how it will anchor productivity, boost exports, and create jobs by operating business round the clock. Furthermore, the United Kingdom's government jobs and 24-hour pillar of the United Kingdom's government's jobs and economic transformation program has been involved in supporting the Make 24-hour pillar of Ghana's economic development plan. Ladies and gentlemen, the Volta Economic Corridor spans 2 million hectares of land, and it will create over 1 million jobs and attract over $1 billion in investments. That is why the regional minister says the Volta region is poised to lead. Trade will move faster and further, and our trade relations with partners will be strengthened. Togbeo Mamao, as the theme suggests, harnessing the Volta Economic Corridor potentials for the 24-hour economy policy takeoff. Permit me at this stage to share a few notes on how this economic corridor could turn around agriculture, energy, logistics, and tourism. First, agriculture and agro-processing, the value chain industrialization. The Volta Basin is agriculturally productive. We have food crops, we have tubers, we have oil palm, and we have fisheries. A logistics spine and a 24-hour operations will reduce post-harvest losses by enabling night shift processing, cold chain throughput, and faster economic windows. there is a huge economic investment potential for the integrated agro-processing parks at the lakeside nodes. And I'm sure our Honorable Agricultural Minister will elaborate on this for us when it is his turn to speak. Businesses will benefit from the many tax incentives and alternative transportation channels available in the movement of people, goods, and services. 2, increase alternative energy sources. Lake Volta. Akosombo remains Ghana's strategic hydropower asset. The development of this corridor, amongst things, will stabilize and expand electric base loads through the addition of more power plants. It is an opportunity to invest in green energy by integrating other renewable energies such as solar. These facilities will provide volumes since they will be operational 24/7. There is another big investment for our local and national economy through the following ways: a hybrid solar hydro energy facility and several others. 3, logistics and multiple transportation networks. The core idea of this corridor is to convert the Volta Lake into a 24/7 multimodal corridor that links the north to the south and that links north-south production zones with export gateways and regional markets. This approach significantly reduces inland logistics costs and time used in transporting goods. 4, tourism boost. The Volta region hosts world-class attractions. I believe Honorable Sylvester Mensah of Exim Bank has spoken to this extensively. When logistics and energy are supplied around the clock, a dependable local and national economy is created that attracts foreign investments through tourism. With the Volta region's serene aquatic environment, this corridor could become an ideal destination for lake cruises, amongst others. Indeed, the Volta Economic Corridor stands today as a living testament to what can happen when vision meets collaboration. It offers our state, Ghana, and our regional partners, our private sector, a unique platform to join hands, not in competition, but in cooperation, to translate the vast endowments of this region into shared prosperity. Through this corridor, we can build value chains that work day and night, 24/7. We can expand access to energy. We can create jobs for our youth. And we can open new frontiers of trade that link Ghana to her neighbors and to the world at large. Ladies and gentlemen, Togbe Chairman, the corridor will not only live up to its promise, if we in this forum, seated here this afternoon, do not share honest views about the potentials. Let us use this forum and gathering to think boldly, to debate freely, to design practical ways to make the 24-hour economy work for our collective good. I wish you fruitful deliberations, and may our shared purpose light the way to a new dawn of accelerated growth and dignity for the people of the Volta region and our beloved nation. May God bless the Volta region. May God bless Ghana and make our nation great and strong. Volta region poised to lead. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Deputy Chief of Staff, Nana Oye Bampoado, giving us the speech on behalf of the Chief of Staff, Julius Deborah. Thank you very much as well. We've had some brief changes. There was supposed to have been the TDC boss undertaking a presentation. We've made a replacement. So we're going to have the Petroleum Commission CEO, MFR Castle, in there. We're supposed to have a break, but I won't go for the break. Eric Opoku then will talk. Then Chairman McDan will talk as well. Now, if there's the time for the break, we'll go. Then the diplomatic missions will have their remarks as quickly as possible. Then we'll quickly look at some of those important ones as well. Everything on the program is very important. We're live on TV3 Ghana, across social media. Wherever you're watching us, please make sure you like and comment what you make of this. I've been told by the program organizers that we have some other great important individuals and groups from not only here in Ghana, but also abroad. And that said, let me acknowledge all representatives from Zonda Tech Ghana Limited. Are they here, Zonda Tech? Thank you. Sheshe. Thank you. Thank you as well. And then we also have from the Chinese government and enterprises in Ghana. I've already introduced Mr. Wang. Mr. Wang, thank you as well. This double salute for you. Mr. Luke Lu, are you here? Mr. Luke Lu? Mr. Luke Lu, is he here? We have Engineer Shen Jing representing the Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Indeed, he's the president. Do we have President Chen here? President Chen? From those from the Macau group, are they here? All right. As well as other Chinese investors we have. I've seen the tech mogul and then investor as well, Prince Kofi Klujesin. Mr. Klujesin, thank you as well. Great man. Lawyer Larry Jage. Mr. Jage, I thought I saw you earlier, yeah. Thank you for coming as well. Very active on Facebook. I'm always following him, all his travels. And then also Mauko Jikunu of Glory Oil. Mr. Jikunu, Chairman Jikunu, thank you as well. Professor Ferdinand Ahiapo. Thank you, Prof. The Member of Parliament for Whole West used to be for Governance Assurance Committee, always, at the heels of the government of the day. And then also currently the Member of Parliament for Whole West. He's also occupying a board position. Which board do you occupy, Mr. Get Fund board chair. Please, I'll come to you on Monday. I hope you'll be in your office. That's Emmanuel Kosi Bejra. Please give me a round of applause. Great man. Very cool, calm, and collected, please. And Professor Kofi Abuchi is in the house. Professor Kofi Abuchi. Mr. Ato Boateng. Mr. Boateng, I think I saw you earlier. Is he here? Yeah. And then Victor Akakpo, Volta and OT Regional Director for the Bank of Ghana. They all came with a team from the Bank of Ghana, as well as Koshi Jokoto. Mr. Jokoto, thank you for coming as well. And then all those from our lead sponsor, TDC, that's the Tema Development Corporation. We're grateful. Is the governor's presentation ready? It's ready. How do we get it on the stream? Okay. It's not ready yet. So quickly, we'll go to the CEO for the Petroleum Commission. Please give a round of applause to Fahad Castle. Great applause. Please continue the applause for me. What mother? Sweet mother. Okay, our sweet mother. Yes, you use this as well. Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. My uncle, Royal Highness Togbi Nyautamaklo. Togbi o Mama o, Honorable Ministers, Chief of Staff, my MPs. Oh, I can't see my MP. Bejra, he's run away because I said I'll come to get funded on Monday. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, my friends from the media, good afternoon to you all. I am honored to be here for the very first Volta Region Economic Forum, not necessarily because of just my professional capacity, but I feel mature. I'm a daughter of this soil. The Hardcastle is a name I inherited. My name is Emeafa Baita Jiage. I'm also a proud member of our group called the Caring Sisters, who have supported the ladies in this area from Tegbi and all over the years to harness the strength of our young ladies, to support them in hospitality, in bead making, in kete weaving and the works, to be able to give them some economic independence. Today, I want to share with you the government of Ghana's program to establish and harness the oil and gas potential of the vast onshore Voltairean Basin. I know that the Voltairean Basin is one of the key programs, projects, name it, that everybody in Ghana has been waiting for. So now let me put on my professional hat. The Voltairean Basin is one of the 4 sedimentary basins we have in Ghana, and it's in the upstream oil and gas sector. It is the single largest basin in Ghana and is wholly onshore and has huge potential for a commercial gas and oil accumulation. Our oil and gas shows were recorded in shallow hydrodynamic stratigraphic wells which were drilled somewhere in the 1960s. You need this anywhere? The Voltairean Basin covers an area of about 103,000 square meters and is supposed to cover 40% of Ghana's land mass. So you can imagine, if we can't develop oil and gas in this basin, we at the Petroleum Commission, the GNPC, the Ministry of Energy, see it as a game changer for our economy. The basin covers 8 regions: the Volta, the Eastern, Oti, Ashanti, Bono, East Savannah, Northern and Northeast regions. Togbio, despite the astonishing size of this basin, its petroleum potential remains unknown because we haven't explored much for many decades after the Soviet geologists left us somewhere in the 1970s. And so the government has taken a policy decision that this must change, and has tasked us at the Petroleum Commission and the National Oil Company, GNPC, to attract needed investments to accelerate exploration activities and efforts in the basin. Without exploration, without data, we cannot find oil. We cannot find oil and become commercial. The key thing for us then is to acquire data, is to explore. And in exploration, we need to, as Trump will call it, he's not my favorite person, sorry, but we need to drill, drill, drill. Today, I want to share with you the basin story, its history, what's happening at the present, and what we intend to do in the future. So the basin has been of interest since the 1900s. Initial exploration activities were undertaken between a collaboration between the Gold Coast Geological Survey, now what we call the Ghana Geological Survey Authority, and some Soviet geologists I just mentioned. These early works involved drilling of about 10 boreholes, which led to the observation of bituminous substances and natural gas in some of the wells. The observation of the petroleum-like substances gave hope that the Voltairean Basin will be endowed with hydrocarbons. Somewhere in 1975, Mr. Chairman, we had Shell Exploration and Production Company of Ghana, which acquired 208 line kilometers of seismic. If there are any geologists here, I brought one of my young geologists from the Petroleum Commission. When they start talking seismic, then some of us just decide that we need to concentrate on what we are better known as. Seismic is acquisition of data, and that is what helps us to know where we can drill. Anyway, they acquired 2D seismic data and drilled the first exploratory well in 1977. Although we didn't discover petroleum in that drill, it provided critical foundational information for future studies, including the 2008 to 2009 aeromagnetic survey conducted jointly by the Geological Survey Department and the European Union under a program which we had, which was the Mining Sector Support Program. Currently, as part of the efforts we are undertaking to accelerate the exploitation of the country's petroleum resources in all of Ghana's geological basins, GMPC has leapfrogged with exploration activities in the highly prospective Volta Basin. They have completed the acquisition of phase 3 of the 2D seismic data I just mentioned in December. They commenced in 2001 and they've 2021 and they've completed. And this was an infill campaign, acquired an additional 1,655 line kilometers of 2D seismic lines. GMPC, after the completion and interpretation of the data, plans to drill 2 wells by the 3rd quarter of 2026. The exploration of the Volta Basin, once successful, will signify a new dawn of onshore hydrocarbon exploitation and production in Ghana. We've had extensive consultations and engagements with the Petroleum Commission again and GNPC and the communities in the catchment area of the Volta Basin project to secure a social license for exploitation. Let me add that besides the exploration activities, we've given 3 other licenses to exploration and production companies to undertake various drilling activities in the basin. We have opportunities for local development, and that, I believe, is also key for our people, because when we're talking about data acquisition, drilling, we are talking about the big boys. For our people, there are substantial opportunities in the Volta region, which will offer benefits such as increased government revenue through taxes and royalties, local development, job creation, local SME development, and enhanced energy security by reducing reliance on imports at the macro level. These projects can stimulate economic growth by attracting FDI, supporting local infrastructure development and cottage industries through the economic linkages. Additionally, the Volta Basin, once it matures, will definitely be much simpler to produce from because it's onshore and not as challenging as production from offshore. And of course, then create more opportunities and synergies for our local SMEs. We may have challenges, that goes without saying. And one of them, Togbi, if you will allow me to mention a few, one of the challenges we envisage is migration. Once we have, and we do believe we're going to be successful and we're going to have commercial discoveries and then produce, we envisage migration into the region, and it's happened in Kenya and Uganda and other places. And for us, although it's not inherently problematic, we would see an increase in pressure of the already lack of infrastructure in our community. So, and other things that may get affected will be our natural resource, agriculture, forestry, fishing, that will have the production, exploration and production of hydrocarbons definitely would lead to some challenges. We believe that with potential petroleum activities in the region, the communities may face some challenges with their livelihoods, especially the small-scale traditional economic activities, and these concerns will definitely need to be addressed. Other things we envisage in the future would probably come from our lessons we've learned in mining, where we have challenges and problems with land acquisition and adequate compensation for the landowners in the communities. And so we have to, as I think one of the previous speakers or the Chief of Staff mentioned, we have to work together as a community to ensure that we address these challenges before, during, and in the future. We really do not want to learn the bad lessons that some of our neighbors have learned with onshore exploration and production. We have to learn from the best practice. So how do we ensure inclusive growth? We need to acknowledge the potential challenges from the onset, and we are working to support legislative, policy, and administrative reforms. And some of our programs involve working with relevant government institutions, such as, again, the National Oil Company, the Attorney General's Department, the Ghana Revenue Authority, trying to reach out to other countries who do onshore with the best practice to help us to formulate our onshore regulations. So we are reviewing the Ghana government's onshore policy to promote greater participation both in governance and in the productive process, and promote wider access to the outcomes and benefits to be derived from the activities in the Voltairean Basin. Early engagements like we are having today, both at the policy level and between relevant government agencies, our traditional rulers and the communities themselves, will help us to be able to understand the local dynamics, such as the land use patterns, livelihood impacts, the natural resource management strategies, in order to be able to ensure both the stability of the Voltairean Basin regions and delivering on the promise of genuinely inclusive development. Early engagement provides opportunities to build the social license I mentioned, mitigate against social risk and local impacts, and also enable our stakeholders engaged in petroleum activities to operate in a constructive environment. Let me conclude. Togbi, there's no doubt that the Voltairean Basin holds the key to Ghana's oil and gas future. Like I said earlier, it's 40% of our land mass. It is therefore imperative to accelerate exploration activities to establish its petroleum potential, and the government is committed to ensuring same. Hopefully, and following the drilling of the exploratory wells by GNPC next year, our investors will be invited to acquire rights to conduct exploration and production activities in several acreages within the basin. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'll end by asking all Ghanaians, especially those of the good people of the Volta region, Apeno, we need to support the government in successfully executing its objective of attracting needed investment in the Voltairean Basin for all our collective benefit. Thank you, Mauna Yurami, and let's pray we have a wonderful first economic forum. Akbar.
Thank you, M. Fahad Castle, CEO for the Petroleum Commission. Please give a round of applause. A number of our speakers would also have to undertake a number of activities and so would want to speak. The governor of the Bank of Ghana has been ready for some time. He's out of the jurisdiction, but promised to be part of this because of how important this is. So we'll be giving us a stream interaction from his position as the governor of the Bank of Ghana. But again, before he does that, I have the managing director of the TDC here with us, Courage Nuna Peku. Please acknowledge you, and then your deputy as well. I see Mr. Kluchi Aveji as well, Honorable. Thank you as well. And then also the General Secretary for the Ghana Medical Association. I see Dr. Salom also here. Thank you. I know that the Council of State representative for the Volta region, Gabriel Komiga Tanko Atople, is also here, will be giving us a goodwill message. And thank you for coming as well. But now we'll be off here, but we'll be live on TV3, and we're also live on Onuya across social media platforms. The governor of the Bank of Ghana speaks to us now.
Okay, hello. Good afternoon to everyone. I hope you can see me somehow. Congratulations to those who have conceptualized this idea. Hello, can you hear me clearly, please?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. So let me thank those who have put the program together. This is really good, coming at the right time. So distinguished chiefs and elders, Honorable Regional Minister, our members of Parliament, representatives of government agencies, colleagues from the private sector, and all those that are gathered there, good afternoon. Let me especially acknowledge His Royal Majesty Togbe Sri III, the Awameti of the Anglong State, and the Abadada of Anglong Togbe Apede, whose wisdom and leadership continues to inspire unity and progress across the Volta region and beyond. Now, although I couldn't be with you in person due to some other prior engagements, I'm deeply honored, colleagues, to join you virtually at this important gathering. So, colleagues, as a Voltarian, the Volta region occupies a distinctive place in our national story, where the beauty of the land meets the promise of enterprise. This forum this afternoon is not just another event, it is the stirring of a new chapter in Ghana's development, one that calls us to turn macroeconomic stability into shared prosperity. So, speaking to you this afternoon, I'm going to touch on about 3 key points. I'll briefly touch on our economic recovery story, just briefly. Then I'll say a few words on the Volta Economic Corridor. And then I'll move on to some strategies, in my view, that we can prioritize to unlock this corridor. Finally, I'll talk about the role of Bank of Ghana, and then I close. So on Ghana's economic recovery, you remember 3 years ago, we faced one of our most testing economic moments. You remember how in 2022, inflation went way above 54%. At the same time, the cedi weakened so badly, and there was uncertainty everywhere. But today, the tide has reversed. Inflation is now at 9.4%. The cedi appreciating markedly. But I must say that we are not targeting a particular exchange rate. These are endogenously determined, and we are observing the movements in the cedi on a daily basis. Our international reserves, which is the buffer that we use to support Ghana's international transactions, as of the last count, end of September, we are looking at over $12 billion in reserves, which is enough to cover nearly 5 months of imports. So we do have quite some significant buffers in place, which we expect to protect us against any commodity price shocks or any other form of external shocks that could come up in the near future. So these are not statistics I'm giving you. They tell the story of a country that has refused to give up since we came in. 8 months of deliberate, disciplined policy making is what has delivered the stability we are seeing. This is a story of restored confidence in our policies, confidence in our institutions, and confidence in our good selves, as well as in the resilience of our people. But this stability is not a finish line. It is only the foundation that we have built over the past 8 months. Our task now is to build on it and to turn this recovery into transformation. Transformation in terms of jobs that pay and pay well, industries that operate and will last, and regions that thrive. And so that is why I consider today's program as timely. It's coming at the very right time when the macroeconomic environment is settling down. Now is the time for Volta region to also raise its voice and to demand some greater progress in terms of its economic recovery. Now, if I can say a bit on the Volta Economic Corridor, looking at the potential, how we can turn that into a powerhouse. So our economic corridor in the Volta region is not just a line on a map. It is a living artery through which Ghana's economic heart, connecting fertile farmlands, we have busy markets, energy sources, and we have border trade routes. These are the fundamentals you need for trade. So if you look at from Tema and Akosombo all the way to the north through Volta, this corridor has the potential to reshape how we produce, it can reshape how we move, and it can reshape how we trade in goods. And not just within Ghana, but across ECOWAS as a whole. So we do have the networks we need to spur trade. It's therefore time to move from this potential that we are sitting on to actual execution. Now, this corridor can be a beacon, and I'm talking of the Volta corridor, for how regional innovation can drive national transformation, whether we are looking at agriculture, energy, logistics, manufacturing, tourism, and digital services. The potentials are in abundance. Now, one of the good things that I've heard in the past 8-9 months of the new government, or we are working on, is the 24-hour economic concept. This concept is not just about working longer hours. It is about working smarter. It is about working faster. And it is about working more connected. So it is about creating a Ghana where production never stops. The country does not go to sleep, where finance flows continuously, and where digital systems keep commerce alive beyond daylight. Because remember, when we close our offices at 5, there still are potentials. Others are busy, working, even as we go to bed. So to achieve this, the Volta corridor also has to be equipped to function as a round-the-clock economic engine. We must plug in strongly into the 24-hour economic concept, linking production to value addition, and also linking domestic markets to regional exports that are around us. Now, on the strategic priorities to unlock this corridor, 4 of these come to mind that I want to share with you, many of which we know, but permit me to just touch on them. First one is on infrastructure and connectivity. That means modernizing our road networks. Fortunately, we now have the Minister of Road that comes from the region. Let us upgrade the logistics hubs. Let us ensure that our border posts support trade rather than frustrate it. Our border points with Togo and the likes must be repositioned to support greater trade. The Eastern Corridor Road, especially, and the development of the Ho and Keta as transport and industrial hubs have to be critical, have to be pursued as a matter of fact. Then the next priority area under the unlocking the corridor is on energy and industrial clusters, where I'm talking about the Volta Basin, which is rich in renewable energy. If we pursue deliberate investment, we can establish a 24-hour processing parks, we can have ICT service hubs, and we can have light manufacturing clusters that are powered by hydro, solar, and wind energy. Then the third pillar is on human capital development. A 24-hour economy requires a 24-hour ready workforce, a workforce that has that mindset that work is not just between 8 in the morning and 5 in the evening, it is round the clock. Technical and vocational training, therefore, must be aligned with a shift-based industry needs. And the training must focus on automation, and these days there's talk about digital entrepreneurship. Our youth, therefore, must be equipped for the future of work. The future of work is changing and changing by the day, and we need to empower our youth in this regard. Then the next one is on PPP partnerships and investment climate. I'm sure the other speakers would have spoken about this. And by this, I mean that government cannot do it alone. The government of Ghana alone cannot deliver on the investment that we seek. We need a strong private sector participation, both local and international. And that means packaging the potentials of the region very well so that we can interface with capital wherever we can get it from, whether locally or internationally, so as to put our potentials to work. The bank and the state must continue to build an enabling environment, that is ourselves. We will continue to work with government to ensure policy consistency, to ensure regulatory clarity, and to ensure competitive tax frameworks that will incentivize investment in these areas. So let me tell you about the role of the Bank of Ghana in this whole thing. In other words, what does the central bank have to do with the regional economic corridor such as the Volta corridor? The answer to this is simple. In the first place, everything starts with macroeconomic stability. And as you know, Bank of Ghana's primary mandate is to maintain stability in prices, stability in the financial sector. Through prudent policy, inflation targeting, and FX market management, we have anchored the value of the cedi and we are enabling businesses to plan with confidence. Secondly, promoting digital finance. We have made significant progress through platforms such as GIFs. There's the Ghana Pay that we intend to put some more life on, and the ongoing development of the ECD project, which we are also pursuing. In a 24-hour economy, digital payments are the bloodstream of businesses. Why? Because bank branches would have closed at 5 p.m., but it is these digital channels that will continue to serve economic activity till the next morning when bank branches open again. So our infrastructure seeks to ensure that payments can be made securely, can be made instantly, and can be made continuously. The next area where we can help is expanding access to finance. How are we doing this? We are reforming the credit ecosystem. We are looking at the collateral registry and the credit bureau system. We are pursuing digital lending guidelines. These days, it is about digital credit, where people can take small loans on their phones and be able to implement or invest in small businesses. Then we are promoting fintechs that will be SME friendly and that can help to widen access to capital. This enables SMEs, cooperatives, and youth-led startups to enter and scale in the formal economy. Then the next one is on financial innovation and investor confidence, how we can support it. Now, through our supervision of banks, through our regulation of fintechs and EMIs, our task is to ensure sectoral resilience. And through our reserves build-up, as well as green finance initiatives, we are signaling to investors that Ghana is open, Ghana is stable, and Ghana is future-focused. Colleagues, remember that true transformation is not decreed. We don't legislate transformation. It is co-created. And that is exactly what we are delivering on at the central bank. It is the responsibility of government to enable, but private capital must build, and our traditional leaders must anchor, whilst financial institutions finance. So you see, we all have a role to play in bringing about this potential for the Volta corridor. And our regional assemblies also have a role. They must integrate the 24-hour vision into their development strategies. We have our educational institutions who also have the task to train for the economy we are building, not the one we inherited. And of course, our traditional authorities must continue to be partners in enterprise, not just onlookers or bystanders. So in closing, colleagues, let me commend the Volta Regional Coordinating Council, the Volta Corridor Project, our traditional councils, and our partners, including the Ghana Exim Bank, for their leadership. This program they have put together is timely, it is critical, and we believe it will help to spur activity in opening up the Volta corridor within the 24-hour framework. The forum today is not just a dialogue, colleagues. It is a call to action on various forms. So let us turn every idea that is shared here into tangible outcomes. Let it be a factory that is built at the end of our discussions, or a farm project that will be expanded after our deliberations, or in other words, a financial hub that gets created as a result of the deliberations underway today. So though I speak to you from afar, colleagues, my commitment and that of the central bank, the Bank of Ghana, remains unwavering. Together, we can make the Volta Economic Corridor the vibrant heartbeat of Ghana's 24-hour economy. I am persuaded and I am ready. And I'm sure all of you at the program are ready in this regard. I thank you, and may God bless the Volta region and the Republic of Ghana, even as we assert ourselves, even as we scale up the Volta corridor for the benefit of our people. I thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Isiama, giving us his virtual speech there. And for our incoming ones, two of them just told me, I won't mention their names, so they are down there, that if they had known, they would have done virtual. But we have those who are present as well, so that's the most important thing. Now, can I have Mr. Rukupuku, please join me as well. The Honorable Minister for Food and Agriculture to do us the honors of giving us his speech. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. Togbe Chairman and his entourage, the Honorable Deputy Chief of Staff, Nana Oyi Bampuado, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Honorable Ministers of State herein present, and members of Parliament, representatives of state agencies, distinguished traditional rulers and queen mothers, our esteemed business leaders, academia and investors, fellow citizens, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is a profound honor to join you at this historic Volta Economic Forum, held as part of the prestigious Hobechochoza celebrations, a moment when culture meets commerce and tradition converges with transformation. Today we gather not only to celebrate the spirit of the Anlo people, but to deliberate on a grander vision, a vision that our first president, Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, once foresaw when he conceived the Volta River Project and the Eastern Corridor, Economic Corridor, as the industrial heartbeat of Ghana. The Volta Corridor is not a new concept. It is the materialization of a dream seeded over 6 decades ago, when Dr. Kwame Nkrumah initiated the Volta River Project in 1961. He did so with a holistic national plan in mind to integrate energy, industry, transportation, and agriculture along the Volta Basin. This grand design was anchored on 3 interlinked pillars: 1, hydropower development; 2, industrialization; 3, agricultural modernization. Dr. broader dream was to make the Volta Basin the nucleus of Ghana's balanced regional development, an industrial agricultural belt that could one day revive Accra in its strategic importance. Today, as we stand, President John Dramani Mahama has rekindled and modernized that original vision, because the Volta Corridor still holds the key to Ghana's next economic revolution. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Volta region's natural endowments are extraordinary. From the lush coastal plains of Anloga and Keita to the fertile valleys in North Tongue, Hohoi, and Jasikan, this region is blessed with all the ingredients for accelerated transformation. Now, agriculture. Volta region possesses large tracts of arable land, represented by multiple irrigation systems. We have Veta, Aveime, Afife, and Adidomi that enable all year-round production. Energy and water resources. The Volta River and its tributaries provide the foundation for irrigation, agriculture, and renewable energy generation. Mineral and tourism assets, from salt mining in Keita to ecotourism around Afajato and Vree Falls, The region has a diverse investment portfolio. Connectivity, the Eastern Corridor Road, and the upcoming Volta logistic network link seamlessly to the rest of Ghana and neighboring Togo. Indeed, if we were to design a capital economic potential, it will be here in the Volta region. With its geography, climate, and talent, the Volta region very well could serve as the center for production, processing, and prosperity. This is what I call the three agricultural P's. And that is what President John Mahama is delivering for the people of Ghana right here in the Volta region. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on assumption of office a few months ago, we realized that Ghana's food import bill is over $3 billion United States dollars. Food inflation had ballooned to 61% as at January 2023. It came down to 28.3% when we assumed office in January. We cannot understand this because nature has been kind to our country. We have a lot of resources. Even when you look at the Volta economic corridor, the corridor is surrounded by arable land estimated at 8 million hectares. 4 million out of this is earmarked as forest reserves. And now under the 24-hour economy policy, we want to develop 2 million out of the 4 million left for development. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have water flowing throughout our land, and our ecological zones are perfect for agricultural production. Records indicate that Ghana has a youthful population. The African Continental Free Trade Area is located here in Ghana, and we are aware of the African population estimated at 1.6 billion, and is still growing, which we can take advantage of. So we have everything to develop our agricultural sector, to make our country food nation of Africa. Unfortunately, the converse has been the story. A country with so much resources, we are unable to produce enough to feed our people. And so, office, His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama launched what we call Agriculture for Economic Transformation Agenda, an agenda to use agriculture as a vehicle to engender prosperity and economic development to the people of Ghana.